Hello. I'm going to go over to my mat and hopefully other people will join in. And if you look, I still have socks on. It's been cold. So I'm going to go ahead and take my socks off so we can get started. And hopefully I won't break down into tears. I just watched something really emotional on YouTube. And here I am on YouTube. And I'm like, that's probably not a very good idea. But at least I don't wear mascara or anything anymore. In my old age, it looks dumb. So, yeah, it's about shelter dogs. And of course, I'm a dog person. If you watch any of my shorts having to do with dogs, you would gather that information and understand I love dogs. And there was a whole bunch of them that had graduated from training and they were allowed to pick their human. So they had a bunch of people waiting. They apparently wanted to adopt a dog. And the dogs got to go in one by one and they got to feel the energy of the people in the room and they got to pick their person. And it brought me back to my first Great Pyrenees that I adopted back in 2012. And he adopted us. So it was really emotional. But anyway, this is day one of a January fitness journey, and I'm posting everything except the live streams to TikTok also. So I'm hoping that it'll get a bunch of people motivated. I know some people watched the video this morning about going out for a walk. I don't know if that encouraged anybody to go out for a walk, but I do hope it did. And it also was a reminder about the Friday night live streams of yoga. So for the entire month of January, we're going to have 3 days of strength training, 3 days of yoga, hopefully 6 or 7 days of walking, hiking, or running, and 1 day of rest. So on the day of rest, it'll always fall on a Sunday. And I'm hoping that, if you have to walk a dog, you have to walk a dog. Just don't make it like a power walk or anything like that. But if you go sightseeing and things like that, you're going to end up walking. But I want everybody to just relax, not focus in on their fitness, but just take a break from it all. So tonight, we're going to focus on our core. Tomorrow's workout is all upper body. So I thought with us focusing on our core tonight, it will be a welcome break from anything having to do with the lower body when we do our upper body workouts with the resistance band. I don't know why I just did that. I tend to talk with my hands. That comes from working with children. And because it doesn't work with dogs, but it does work with kids. But I'd like to start this with some deep breathing. So you can close your eyes if you like. And we're going to take some really deep breaths. Now focus in on, like I said, we're going to focus in on our abdomen, on our center. So you want to make sure that you're really filling your abdomen with air. So we're going to take a deep breath in. Force that air down so that your belly swells. I know we don't like our belly swelling. And then breathe out. And actually put your hands on your stomach so that you can feel the expansion as you breathe in and the contraction as you breathe out. So breathing in and out. Make sure you're sitting up straight while you're doing this. Breathe in and out. In and out. Now we're going to place our left hand on the mat right next to us. You can go out a little bit if you feel like you can go really deep. What we're going to do is reach up with our right hand and then lean over. So if you want to go down to your elbow, make sure that you have your left hand pretty far out. Then back to center. Same thing on the other side. Up and over. Trying to keep your thighs weighted down on the mat. We don't want to tip over when we do this. So one more time. And back. Now we're going to take our left foot and we're going to bring it to our center line. Stretch out your right leg and then shift so that you're facing your right foot. Then lift your hands up and overhead and lean over. Now at first we're going to be looking forward. Then we're going to take a deep breath in. And as we breathe out, we're going to tuck in and reaching towards your knee with your forehead. It may not even come close. That's fine. This is to get a really good stretch in our back body and our side body. And from center, you want to activate the abdomen to come up. Now, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So bring your right foot into the center line. Shift so that you're facing your left foot. Reach your arms up and overhead and lean over. Take a breath in and out. Now, from center, you want the motion to originate in your core. And what we're going to do next is a cat-cow. Now, if you have bad wrist or if you just don't feel stable by having your hands, on the mat and having to put weight on it, you can do a cat-cow seated. So seated, you would breathe in and reaching back with your shoulders, leaning your head backwards, and breathe out as you come in like this for cat. So we've got cow and cat. But what we're going to do if you don't have any problems with your wrist is move to a tabletop position. Make sure that your knees are just below your hips and that your hands are just below your shoulders. And we're going to take a deep breath in as we drop our belly, looking forward for cow, and breathe out as we go into cat. Now make sure you're really digging into the mat with your feet and your hands, and that you're really over accentuating the motion so that you're activating all of your muscles in your back and your abdomen. So when we go into cat, make sure you're really tucking your navel in and going in towards the spine. And one last time, breathing in and out. Now we're going to cross our heels and come through. The 3 dogs ran in here earlier and they had just been outside. And now there's dirt all over my mat because I was setting everything up for the live stream. And one of them luckily got picked up. Yay! Got picked up early. So, but I do have another one coming tomorrow. So it's short-lived. Down to 2 dogs for one night. Now we're going to be here in a staff position, but what I'd like you to do is have your hands right next to your hips, take your shoulders and reach up towards your ears and then back. So you should feel your shoulder blades pinching towards one another, pinching together. And you want to suck your navel to your spine. We're starting to fire up our center. And then dig into the mat with your thighs. You might find that your feet come up off the mat. So we're really working a lot more muscles than you would think when you see somebody in this position. Now we're going to lower to our backs to start doing some core work. Don't be afraid. We'll take breaks in between. So interlace your fingers, have a steeple grip, point your toes, and we're going to lower as slowly as we can. Try to imagine each vertebrae as it comes into contact with the mat, and that will help slow you down. And it'll also fire up that abdomen. Now I'm going to get centered on the mat. Now, the first thing that we want to do is put our feet up like we're going to go into bridge, but we're going to tilt our tailbone so that our lower back is flush with the mat. Then we're going to interlace our fingers, put them behind our head, and we're going to lift and hold. Now you should feel the upper part of your abdomen and your lower part like reaching towards one another by doing this. So this is not really a crunch because we want to have a lot of space between our chin and our chest. So you want to imagine that you're trying to hold something, but you're not trying to squeeze it. So we're going to lower a few times and then lift. Breathe in as you lower. Breathe out as you lift. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Now we're going to take a little break. So place your soles together in cobbler's pose. And take your hands and really just rub your belly. Especially if you haven't worked on your core muscles in a while, you'll feel it tomorrow. Not just from this one little move, because we're not done. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to grab our left knee and reach towards the sky with that right foot, and we're going to flex and point. You can do both feet. I started with just my right foot, but you can add in your left. Then we're going to lower that right leg very slow. Slow as we go. You should feel your abdominal wall kick in right as you get your foot just above the mat, and we're going to allow it to hover. Both toes pointed, both feet rather. We have 10 toes, not just 2. And then we're going to raise that leg and lower again. Let it hover. Then raise that leg one last time and lower. And this time we're going to let it hover for a count of 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Make sure your shoulders stay on the mat. 4, 3, 2, 1. And grab that knee and hug it with the other knee. And now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So grab that right knee, hug it in tight. Make sure your shoulders are in contact with the mat. Lift that left leg and point your toes and flex. Point and flex. Point and flex. Now we're going to point and lower that left leg. Slow. Try not to allow your lower back to come up off the mat. So if you find that when you get to this one spot that your lower back comes off the mat, lift it up a little bit. We're going to let it hover. You should feel your abdominal muscles working, and then lift that leg and lower, letting it hover. Keeping those toes pointed the whole time, our shoulders next to the mat, our lower back in contact with the mat, and then lift and lower. You can breathe in as you lift and breathe out as you lower. And for this last time, we're going to let it hover for a count of 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and bring it in and give both knees a great big hug. This is going to be a little break. You can roll back and forth on your mat. We don't want to do one exercise right after the other, targeting our abdominal muscles. We kind of want to take a little break in between. So what we're going to do is we're going to let our knees fall away from our body, and holding onto your knees, we're going to go in some circles. So bring your knees up and in and back down. So go out for bringing them up and back in for going down. Out for going up and down for going back in. All right, now we're going to raise both legs up to the ceiling, and you can hold on to your mat. Let me get in the center. You can grip the edges of your mat like this to make it a little bit easier, because we're going to lower both legs at the same time. Now, when we do both legs, your lower back is most likely going to come off the mat. But you should also feel your muscles in your abdominal wall kick in, like right about here. And then breathe in as we raise them up, and breathe out as we lower. Breathe in as we raise them up. Breathe out as we lower. Breathe in. And then that last time, we're going to let it hover. So lower. 1, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And bring your knees to your chest. And now we're going to go back into that reclined cobbler's pose. Place your feet, soles together, your hands on your belly, and give it a little rub. That was the lower muscles in our abdominal wall that we just worked out with that. And those don't get enough love. So we're going to thoroughly enjoy targeting every single muscle. Now, what we're going to do is raise our knees and then have your shins to where they're parallel with the ceiling. You can have your toes pointed or flexed. I tend to have mine pointed when I do this. And we're going to interlace our fingers again, place it behind our head, and we're going to raise our arms and shoulders up off the mat and go across. So our right elbow is going to be reaching for our left knee. It may not even come close. It's really just the motion. Now, you don't want that knee to come in too. You don't want to do this. You want to just reach towards that knee with that elbow. And make sure you've got your knees at a point where your lower back is flush with the mat. If you push them too far out, you'll feel like your lower back come up. And we don't want that. We want to have our lower back in contact with the mat. So now we're going to raise that right shoulder and come down. Then the left shoulder and come down. I don't know why I keep getting all cockeyed on my mat. Raise up with the right and down, and the left and down. Now we're going to add a leg extension. So as we raise our right elbow, we're going to lower our right knee or our right leg. And then bring it back up, and then lower the left leg when we raise our left shoulder. And we're doing this nice and slow. It is quality over quantity. The slower we move, the more benefit there is to our muscles. And we're going to keep doing this a little bit. Again, don't rush. We're not trying to get our heart rate up. We're targeting our abdominal wall. Now, if you've given up, come back in for one last time on each side. Right and left. Hug your knees to your chest. Back to that reclined cobbler's pose. And this time, really dig into your quads and your upper thighs, like right between your hips and your quads. And just rub down. And by turning your attention away from your abdominal wall, it was a trick. It was to try to make you forget all the work that we're doing in there. All right, now we're going to raise both legs up to the sky. You can have them straight, you can have them slightly bent. Although slightly bent, you're not going to get much work on your abdominal wall. So you want to try to keep them straight, because once you straighten, try that. Let them lower, and you feel that your abdominal wall just kind of relaxes. But then the minute you straighten, it actually kicks in. So we're going to keep our legs straight. Okay. Now we're going to reach towards our toes with our fingers. So we're going to reach up and down, up and down. Try to get your shoulders up off of your mat, up and down, up and down. Now we're going to go up and hold it for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hug your knees to your chest. It's amazing how such a small movement can do so much work and be so beneficial. Now we're going to go back up with our legs in the air, but this time we're going to reach towards the side, to the center, and then to the other side and back to center. So lift your legs to the sky. We're going to reach first to the left and down, then up to center and down, and to the right and down. So we should be getting the upper part of our abdominals to the center and to the right. You should feel them actually reaching towards one another, almost like folding in. So now we're on the center and then to the right. Then to the left, to the center, and to the right. And one last time, to the left, down, to the center, down, and to the right, and down. And then hug your knees in, back to recline cobbler's pose. This time we're going to go back and rub our belly. We really rely on our abdominal wall in so many ways. It helps support our back. So you really want to keep your abdominal wall as strong as possible. You want to feel like you could tighten your stomach and somebody could come up and punch you and it wouldn't bother you. It wouldn't knock the air out of you. It'll help us with our posture. It'll help us with our overall strength as we grow older. Now, I haven't really been keeping track of time and it's already 7:26. So what we're going to do is we're going to hug our knees to our chest, and then we're going to let our right leg go out in front. Take your left knee across your body and over to the right, and then reach with that left arm, trying to keep your shoulder blades in contact with the mat. Then we're going to come back to center, hug those knees into our chest, and then straighten that right leg and bring that left knee across. I just did the same thing. So we'll do it twice on the other side. So we're going to grab our knees, let the left leg go out, bring that right knee across our bodies, and our right arm reaching forward, looking at our right hand, then coming back. We get centered again. I'm just moving all over the place. Stretching that left leg out, bringing that right leg across, and reaching forward with our right hand. So instead of ending this in a reclined position, we're going to end this practice in a seated position. And I'm going to go check and see if anybody's left a message. I look forward to responding to chats. And because that's really the whole point, is to connect with people while we're doing this fitness journey. So I'm going to get my glasses on. And I hope you're not cursing me tomorrow. All right. So I have learned how to do the chat, to pop it out so I can see it, but I don't see any messages. So just a couple more minutes. I'll wait a couple more minutes. If you have any information that you want, anything, any ideas that you might have. I've just, focused on using old videos for the strength training, because to schedule everything and to get everything up and running, that took hours the last couple of days. And every day I'm going to record like a reminder video to get out there and walk or go for a run or go for a hike. So I'm hoping that more people will join in and will actually participate. And on the community tab on my channel, people can actually post now. So you can go in there and say, I had a great walk today, share pictures, anything that you would like to share. I really want this to be a community. And that's about all I have to say. So I hope you enjoyed the yoga practice tonight and that you'll be ready to go outdoors tomorrow and get in a walk and then do the strength training later in the day. They'll both come out within a half an hour of one another. So, but anyway, I'll see you again later. Bye.